Day 1. Quite honestly, I don't have much to say on this day since pretty much all it was just character design on one character, and that was Alice. I wanted to go for a more mentally insane like character, like Wonderland isn't real, sort of what Alice Return of the Madness did. How they depicted it as kind of a blend of her mind. Now, one thing that I really liked about that game was how dark it was, and that was kind of the thing I was going for here, but I didn't want to copy that game exactly, so I wanted to make it more of its own thing. A lot of the stuff was going to be very different. For instance, Alice is now wearing a straitjacket, mostly going to be through the game. I didn't have a proper story planned out on this day either, it was just day 1 after all. Plus, you'll see a lot of cuts where I'm just sitting there not really doing anything, and that's because I was actually doing this during Zoom calls, literally during my classes. I actually have a pretty good explanation for why I was doing this during my Zoom classes. Obviously, I was paying attention, and this was the easiest part of the game aspect, at least the creation aspect, that basically allowed me to work on the game and also pay attention. The reason this was so easy was because really all I needed for Alice was pretty much just to put her in the straitjacket. It was mostly going to be whites and grays and stuff like that. You can even see some pop-up notifications later in the video, but those aren't from my classes. You can definitely tell that I'm editing this so that it's pretty much raw footage because there is no real reason to edit this to the point where it's like perfect. This is all live footage of me doing this. Now, the one problem that I kept running into was when people would call on me, I did slip up a bit. That's not the point though. The point is I was doing this during class and some of the stuff was really easy to get down. For instance, the characters walking to the right, left, and standing still, those guys I actually thought were going to be the easiest, but truthfully, the ones that were the easiest were the ones facing front and back, which is weird to say because there's more detail. One of the more difficult parts of the character design was I tried to make Alice look like she was actually in a straitjacket. So I tried to add fine detail, little dots that weren't normally there, little dots that were darker, so it's kind of like a shadow effect. But at the same time, I also didn't want to like over-sexualize the character either. So I didn't want to give her a big butt, I didn't want to give her big tits, anything like that. I wanted her to be average. Plus, I wanted her to look like she was restrained, which is the point of a straitjacket and the point of the design. Another thing that I kind of wish I mentioned earlier was that the character is going to be in the straitjacket through a majority of the game. I don't think I'm going to keep the game to the point where it's like, oh, she's always in the straitjacket and that it gets repetitive. I want there to be a point where Alice breaks free from the straitjacket, but I don't know exactly when that's going to be. Another thing I wanted to do was kind of make sure that Alice went through Wonderland and there were many different references to both books, Through the Looking Glass and more. And I was kind of conflicted on what to do here. Should I do a cryptid version of Through the Looking Glass or a cryptid version of the original? Now, truthfully, I don't think it really matters. Either way, I'm not a huge fan of Alice in Wonderland to begin with. And once again, the inspiration for this was Alice Return of the Madness, because I liked that design. I believe Tim Burton attempted to do something similar with his film to that game, but truthfully, he didn't do it well at all. Honestly, that game kind of reminded me of Silent Hill, which is another effect I really wanted to go for. I wanted it to kind of be like an RPG Silent Hill-like game. So that's kind of why I made Alice kind of crazy. It was at this point where I finished 9 sections of the character redesign, and I kind of just gave up. I decided to call it quits here. I was a little concerned whether or not I was actually going to come back and remember to finish it, as I tend to do, but I have a good feeling that I can get it done. But here's some footage of me just giving up. I think that's good for right now. Tapping out. I'm tired and I got schoolwork to do. So I'm gonna come back and get this then. I don't think it actually looks that bad. I mean, she does kind of look like an egg. No, thank you. Yeah, she kind of looks like an egg up here. But yeah, I mean, I think down here looks the best. I do need to fix that then. Let me fix that right now. I need to get a different color for that because it's kind of breaking through. So I guess this dark color will do. Yeah, tapping out. Perfect. So I'm done for today. Because again, I got schoolwork to do. Shit. So I'll finish this up probably off camera. I don't know. I gotta save some storage. And yeah. So yeah. All right. Let's keep going.